My name is Michael Mosley, and in this series I've been tracing the glorious history of surgery and the magnificent cast of characters who have taken it from the Dark Ages and turned it into a precise, skillful and life-saving discipline. Hello. I've covered magnificent breakthroughs.
You had the tube hanging like a trunk.
Ideas that were inspired and those that were deranged. What you do is you bop it through the skull. But none of this would have been possible without four fundamental discoveries that would change the face of surgery forever. That's it, hold him down. Mapping human anatomy. Managing blood loss. Developing pain relief. Oh, God, that's horrible. And stopping infection. In this programme, I'm going back to surgery's crude beginnings, when it was little more than optimistic butchery. And I'll show you how surgery was utterly transformed into a discipline that for the first time would cure more people than it killed. I'm rather excited because I'm about to do something that I have been absolutely dying to do for years now. In the early days, surgeons were not exalted gods, but a rather lower form of pond life. Trained as barbers, they could purge, bleed, or cut off a limb. Their most sophisticated tool, the blood-sucking leech. Right, so these are our friend the leeches, is that right?
These are the friends of leeches. Now, these are European leeches. We know that because they have got green tummies.
What?
Be careful.
Yeah.
I've got one made ready for you.
OK.
So if you put your arm on the table...
Yep.
And I'll put one in a wine glass. Ready?
Yep. Will this hurt, by the way, just before?
It's a bit like dentistry, you know, the injection hurts, but then afterwards it doesn't.
Yeah.
Right, here we go.
Oh, yes.
Can you feel it?
Oh, I can feel it. Oh, jeez. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I can feel there's little teeth going in. It feels like about 300 or 400 very, very small teeth all drilling in. Oh, you little bugger. What did they use leeches for?
Basically, everything. If you were to lose your left leg, or you had a little headache, so by giving you a quick bleed, the idea was to make you feel better.
Doctors might prescribe it, but bloodletting itself was mainly left to the unsophisticated barber surgeons. The European obsession with bloodletting goes back to the Greeks and their belief that an imbalance in any of the four humours, phlegm, yellow bile, black bile or blood, could cause sickness. If you believe that, then bloodletting was a logical treatment. I think this leech has acquired a taste for Mosley blood. It's actually quite pleasant, almost relaxing. That's probably just the placebo effect kicking in. If I lost enough blood, eventually my blood pressure and core temperature would both fall, leaving me pleasantly sleepy but anemic.
Could be overbled.
Yeah.
Physicians would bleed you again and again and again and again over a course of weeks.
Yeah. With a whole bunch of new leeches each time.
Each time, yes. You could end up being bled to death.
Oh, he's come off now. And I'm beginning to bleed. There he is, absolutely gorged with blood. How much blood could I lose?
I would reckon you're going for about 4 to 5 hours.
Yeah.
And you could be looking at a good wine glass full plus.
Right, blood. Right, and this idea clearly persisted, despite the fact it's clearly nonsense. It persisted for thousands of years?
Thousands of years.
I'm going to drop another drop just... Taken too far, bloodletting could and did kill. But it was still preferable to other treatments surgeons had to offer. That was butchery. Cutting out and chopping off.
Surgery is limited, it's defective, and more often than not, it's fatal. It's at the beginnings of fatality, and the surgeon is the harbinger of death.
Oh dear. It's good to be back in the 21st century. I've got a pressure bandage on, which is there because apparently I'm going to go on bleeding for a couple of more hours, and I've got my leech, who I'm going to take home to show the family, keep it as a family pet. But more importantly, I'm now going on the trail of the man who would eventually make the leech redundant and who would drag surgery kicking and screaming out of the dark ages.